In this video, we'll look at whether hydrogen fluoride, that's HF, is ionic or covalent. So when we're talking about hydrogen fluoride, we mean that HF is just pure HF, neither a gas or a liquid. If we put this in water, then it's aqueous and we call it hydrofluoric acid. But just by itself as a gas or a liquid, pure HF, that's called hydrogen fluoride. And that's what we're going to talk about here, the bond between the hydrogen and the fluorine atom. If we look at the periodic table, we find hydrogen here, that's a nonmetal, and then fluorine, that's also a nonmetal. So we would expect that HF, hydrogen fluoride, would be a covalent compound. Let's take a look, though, at electronegativity to help understand what type of covalent compound it might be. So we think about bonding as a continuum. On one side we have ionic bonds, and then on the other we have nonpolar covalent. And in the middle we kind of have a mix. So HF, when we look at this, we want to figure out the difference in electronegativity between the hydrogen and the fluorine atom. So this is a chart of electronegativities. Left out the transition metals here. Let's find hydrogen right here, and then fluorine. And if we subtract these two numbers, we get a difference in electronegativity of 1.78. So there's a fairly large difference in electronegativity between the fluorine and the hydrogen atom. Let's see what that means. So we said the difference in electronegativity between the hydrogen and the fluorine, that's 1.78. So that is lower than the 2.0 here in this definition. So that would be covalent, but it would be polar covalent. So the electron would be shared between the hydrogen and the fluorine, but most of the time it's going to be around the more electronegative fluorine. Some textbooks will have this number as 1.7. So you can see why HF is confusing. It's very close to the 2, and different textbooks could give you a different definition. So it's almost ionic, but it's not quite, and that's what we call polar covalent. For me, I think the thing that makes me comfortable with calling it polar covalent and covalent is it's a gas or a liquid. It doesn't form solids. Most ionic compounds, most all ionic compounds, they are solids. So since this is found as a gas or a liquid, I'm comfortable with calling this polar covalent. This is Dr. B discussing whether hydrogen fluoride, HF, is ionic or covalent. It's polar covalent. Thanks for watching.